All right. Good morning, my friends. How you doing? Welcome to Coffee and Craps with old Johnny here. I got a good microphone today. Yesterday I screwed up. I had the microphone on my laptop going instead of my actual microphone. You couldn't hear a damn thing I said, and I was saying really good stuff. So I will repeat myself a little bit today as we go through the content. But got to call out Dice Dr. Dan. First one here in the chat, and probably the comment of the day. He says it's 33 degrees in Vegas. But it's a dry cold, which is probably the funniest thing I've seen this morning. It's a dry cold. We have snow here in Seattle today, too. It's like 30 degrees and snowing up here in my neck of the woods. So, yeah, welcome to February. Welcome to winter. I just played the Craps Nation Dice Throwing Tournament intro because it starts tomorrow in earnest. Tomorrow is the first day of the tournament. I will be posting here in the mornings as part of either this segment or just after this, the current stats. You can see who's qualified, what their qualifying throws were, and I'll kind of give you a sense of who's doing what and all that kind of thing. So look for some updates there every day as we go along. I won't play the intro every single day, but I think it's appropriate here on day one. So before we get into the regular stuff, let's go ahead and do a quick recap of how I did out there on the paycheck today. So let's revisit. We are at the Jackalope, okay? And the Jackalope is a completely rhythm strategy. I don't know if it's a paycheck worthy strategy yet. And I think I've talked about, and I can already tell you this, I love the strategy, it's super fun, but a paycheck style strategy is got to be pretty low volatility. It's got to be pretty repeatable. And it's got to win on the regular, right? And the thing is, this one has a pretty good chance to win. And I mentioned the odds yesterday, and I want to go to the table here in a minute and show you how the odds work and how I explained it incorrectly maybe yesterday. But you've got like a 3.5% chance of getting your ass kicked on any given roll or any given situation. And I'll explain how that works in a minute. Yesterday we hit it 3 times. Yesterday we got the worst possible case 3 times in our rolls. And with 108 rolls that we ran, it was actually perfect. It was not out of the realm. I thought, oh my God, I'm hitting myself too often. No, I hit myself exactly right yesterday with all the rolls that we had. Today, we dodged it the whole time. I don't think I got picked off one time on the across bets today. We just dodged it perfectly. It's rhythm sometimes. And this is a strategy that depends so much on rhythm. I don't know that I can make it a daily driver. I can already tell you, I like to play it. It's fun. It's fun on bubble craps too. But I don't know that it's a daily driver because the ass kickings are huge and it's not low volatility enough to reliably win. Maybe the rabbit has a better shot, but the rabbit has bigger bets on it. So what I want to do is go to the table. I want to talk to you a little bit about the odds and probabilities of this thing because I made mention of it yesterday and I don't think I explained it quite well enough. I want to show you out there with a count of chips the way that this works out. So let's go over here real quick. Let's go to, I think this is the view that I want right here. I think this is it. Does that give you the table? It does. Okay. Let's examine this. And I said this yesterday, you've got this 3.5% chance to get your ass kicked. And here's how that works. All right. One thing's for sure. Let me go bring my coffee over here. Hopefully this math lesson isn't too boring, but it's important to see it. I'm going to go ahead and use, I think we'll use red chips to demonstrate this. With the greens, they show up good. So here's what we're doing. We're laying the 5 and 9, okay? And you're laying the 5 and 9 hoping for a 7. And then you go across. So if we put the across bets out here, I'm just gonna put them out as 1 chip each, just so you can see that there's something there. And we'll put our lay bets back up here like so. Now, the way that you calculate what's gonna happen, okay? The 5 and 9 each have 4 ways to roll, okay? So there's 8 ways out of 36, which means there's an 11% chance that you roll a 5 before a 7, or 11% chance you roll a 9, okay? 22% chance that you trigger these bets. So out of 100 rolls, 22 times you should be in here for the 1 roll playing the box numbers, okay? That's how you figure that out, right? Now, on the box, once you're triggered and you're in the box, now you've got a 16% chance of seeing a 7 in here, 1 out of 6 chance in here to see a 7. So we're going to break the calculator out and see how this works out to be. And I say, how is it that you have a 3.5% chance of getting your ass kicked? Well, the 3.5% of getting your ass kicked is you take the likelihood, the probability that you're going to roll a 5 or a 9 immediately followed by a 7. It's that 2-roll sequence, that perfection of this and then a 7, or this and then a 7. What does that look like? It looks like 22%, which is the probability of rolling a 5 or a 9, multiplied by 0.16, which is the odds of rolling a 7. So it's 0.22 times 0.167, which equals 3.5. It's like 3.6, right? That's where the 3.5% comes from. So it's the odds of you rolling one of these immediately followed by one of these. And you're betting that this sequence of bets says ahead of time, I'm betting you won't be able to do that, which is why I say it's a 3.5% chance of getting your butt kicked, because you're expecting this, then that to be the bad case, okay? Now, once this happens, right, once you've lost one of your lay bets, once these bets go away, you've lost, let's say, the 5, the next roll of the dice, 16% chance you're going to get your ass kicked. Like that doesn't change, right? It's the sequence of both that I'm talking about. Now, it works out both ways, right? We got to look at how this actually plays itself out. So let's really look at what's going to happen here, okay? If we take the 5 and 9 and the 7, and let's take 100 perfect rolls, all right? In 100 rolls, you're going to have, let's do it in black chips. You're going to have, here's 4, I'll lay them out here for you like so you can see them. 4, 8, 12, 16, we could call it 17 sevens. Out of 100 rolls, you're going to see 17 sevens. That's 16.67%. We know that that's going to be the case, okay? We also know that in white chips, we're going to see on the 5 and 9, we should see 22 of those. I don't have enough of these to do 22. I don't think. 5, 10, 15, there's 2. Can I guess I have whites in here. Hold on. I should have had this set up. 1, 2, sorry about this. I should have had this ready to go. 3, 4, 5. There's 22. There's the 22 5s and 9s that you expect to see, right? And there's the 17 6s or 7s that you're going to see. Okay, let's make some assumptions here. Okay, let's say that 22 times. Let's do the case of getting triggered first. 22 times, you're going to lose one of these and be triggered. Okay, of these 22 times, okay, 16% of those times, you're going to see a 7. So 22 times you get triggered. 16% of the time we see a 7. What is that? Let me get my calculator out. If I do clear. 22 times 0.16, right? 3.5 times. Oh, imagine that, 3.5 times. So 3.5 of these, let's call it 4. You're going to get beat on the across bet 4 times. You're going to lose the across bet 4 times. Okay, that's what's for sure going to happen. Which means, though, right? We'll take 4 of these away. 4 of these triggers become losses for us. All right, and there's your 4. There's your 4 sevens right there. 4 of the 7s get gobbled up here in the trigger. Okay, so those 4 sevens are negatives. I'm going to put them over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times we lose everything, but that means that the rest of the time, 4, 8, 12, 13, 14. What's that? 4, 8. I'm sorry. 5, 10, 15, 17 times, right? 5, 10, 18 times. 18 times the trigger works, right? 4 times you lose your bets. 18 times you win your bets, okay? Let's pretend that these were $100 wins, okay? I'm going to put them out here. 1, 10, 15, 18 times we win our trigger. 18 times you win your trigger. 4 times you get your butt kicked on the trigger. Okay, that's part of it. The other 7s, though, are up here. They're good ones. The other 7s are wins, because the 7s that are not in the trigger, the other 5, 10, 13 7s that we have are actually wins up in here. So there's $1,300 in wins up in here. Let's put those black chips out too, because that's important. There's 10, 13 in wins from these 7s. We've accounted for all the 7s. right? You've got 22 times you're going to get triggered. You're going to get your ass kicked 4 times. You're going to win the rest. You're going to win 18 and lose 4 out of your 22 times you get triggered. The other 7s you expect to see, the 16 of the 7s, or 16 of the 16 7s, 4 of them happen here, 12 of them or 13 of them happen out here. So that accounts for every possibility, right? It accounts for all the triggering, it accounts for all the losses, and here's where you end up, okay? And again, there's your 3%. Even though, or 3.5%, I told you ahead of time, the chances of getting your clock cleaned is 3.5%, and there it is right there, right? When you get triggered 22 times, you're gonna lose 16% of those, or 4 out of the 100, you're gonna lose about 3.5 to 4 times. That's the 3.5%. You can do it looking at it ahead of time, saying, you know, 0.22 times 0.16 is 3.5, or you can just play it out and say, well, I'm gonna lose 1/6 of my bets that come out here on the thing. Now, what does it look like financially for us? Here's the problem. Let's say that all this happened just as a perfect probability, right? And we have $1,000, $2,000, $500, $3,100 in wins. Yeah, that's awesome, right? $3,100 in wins. Here, remember, I'm at 750 across, and we would lose 4 of those. What's 750 times 4? $3,000. 1, 2, $3,000. So the losses get gobbled up pretty easily. There's a $100 difference in the wins and losses in this strat. That's why I like the strategy, right? If everything goes perfect, there's $100 likely going to you if you lose the 4 times you're expected to lose, okay? For a total of $3,000 in losses, which gobbles up all of this, $100 extra. Okay, that $100 could go the other way, right? If you have an extra 7 in here, or you have whatever else, you know, that 7 could come, you can have 5 of these and get whacked for another $700. But pure probability speaking, that's where it ends up. 3,000 expected losses, $3,100 in expected wins based on pure probability, okay? That's got to, and again, I think you can look at it 2 ways, right? I can say 0.22, 22% times 16%, which is the this, then that immediately. The math is 3.5%. If you just looked at it and said, well, that's stupid math, right? It's every roll is independent. Sure, you will get triggered 22 times. Out of 22 times, you're gonna lose 4 of them. There's your 3.5%. That's exactly how this works out. So the math works out if you look at it from behind and say, hey, you know, I'm gonna lose on the next roll of the dice 1/6 of the time. That's what it looks like. Math always works. It always works out, and it's hard to explain. And I know that I had chips all over the place. I'm trying to make this make sense, but I was called out yesterday in Discord for not explaining it well or giving the wrong impression. You don't have a 3.5% chance to lose out of the gate. The probability of rolling a 5 or 9 followed by a 7, the math on that is 3.5%. And that's how it plays out. That's exactly how this plays out. You're going to get triggered 22 times. You're going to lose 1/6 of those, which is 4-ish. There's your 3.5%. That's exactly how this works. And over time, this strategy out of 100 rolls should produce about $100 on either side of it over time. Now, there's going to be days like yesterday where, you know, we get torched, right? And you can't recover from it. I did not collect my wins. Had I collected my wins, all the $100, instead of leaving them sitting out here to bake in the elephant graveyard, right? We would have been close to even instead of down $2,000. The difference was not pulling the money down versus, because 3 wins, 3 losses out of 100 rolls, we should have been in profit. But I played it aggressively. I think that's a takeaway. So I want you to know that when I say things like, here's the chances for it to win, the math works. Again, you can look at it from ahead of the roll, right? I'll go back to my face again. You can look at it from the standpoint of, I'm betting you will not roll a 5 and then a 7, or a 5 or a 9, then a 7. That's the 3.5% looking at it ahead. Looking at it in the moment, I just got triggered, I'm facing the 16%. That doesn't change. both of those things mesh and it always works out. That's how this shit works. So make sure we understand that when we're talking about the math of things. And when I make statements like this chance to lose, it's always about that back-to-back combination. I hope that made sense. Hope it made sense. It's been on my mind now since yesterday because we had this conversation. Gator Craps and I were talking about it in Discord, and I'm like, yeah, I got to re-explain that, and it's kind of hard to explain it. So anyway, there's math with Lammers back there. All right, let's move ahead. Let's move ahead and talk about some other stuff here. As we know, Friday night fights: Sith Lord SB versus Mad Dog. Craps Chat was awesome, and the Big AZ Royal Rumble is Sunday the 5th. I think I am the Ace of Hearts. I think so. You'll see how he does it. Tune into Big AZ. Give him your Sunday. It's better than watching that stupid ass flag football that they're going to have for the Pro Bowl. So watch me lose my ass on Big AZ. That's way more entertaining than watching flag football, for sure. So let's do that together then. And yeah, the hard hat vote happens now. So here it is. I'm going to give it to you right now. I'm going to share my screen. Give me a second here to do this. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to expand the screen, make it look nice and big. We're going to zoom way in. Here's my my channel. Here's our channel. Here's our Casino Gaming TV channel. I want you to go here, go to the community tab. And the first thing in the community tab is going to be the vote. The CGTV Hard Hat Award for February. Who do you want to vote for? Who do you feel is working the hardest behind the scenes, getting dirty, doing the grunt work, and generally busting their ass to keep great content flowing for all of us, make us all better players? Who's doing the work? Okay, so right now we've got, this will not show you how many votes we have. I can tell you. You can see right now, Big AZ's in the lead. Skills got some votes. Robinson's got some votes. Course Sideshow's got some votes. There it is, guys. This is it. Last day of voting. Tomorrow morning, we announce the hard hat winner, and Jeff is going to have to go and mail that hard hat that he's been wearing and showing off on his channel away. He's going to send it off to somebody, all deserving guys, right? And what we'll probably do, shuffle it up a little bit next month, and starting in February, I will what do you call it? I'll set a new set of 4 to 6 guys, and we'll start voting again and keep it going. I'm not supposed to tell my card info. What do you mean by that? Skill. I'm not sure what that means. I mean, I shouldn't show the totals. I can't hide the totals because the way that YouTube works, it always shows the totals. But oh, I'm not supposed to tell my card. Okay, sorry. I didn't read the email good enough. Nobody will remember that, Skill. I promise. Nobody was going to remember that. There we go. I was just saying, you guys can tune in. All right. Anyway, here we go. Vote, 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 vote. Get your votes in if you haven't done it yet. If you want to vote for the same guy twice, log out and log in with a different YouTube account. Right? You can log in with 2 accounts and get it done. So get your votes in. Look at us. We're at 951, by the way. 951. We're moving along. We'll be at 1,000 subscribers pretty soon on CGTV. Big milestone for the channel. Big milestone from the channel. So there we go. So Skill, do me a favor, please. Don't tell him that I said that. I just got the email, saw my card, and I said it. I'll erase it from the video. Don't tell him I said it. Shh. Let's keep it quiet. Let's keep that super quiet. Sorry about that. I didn't read the rules. I was just thinking, I don't know, just trying to hype it up, man. I want people to come watch. It's gonna be hella fun. So let's do this. Next, what we're gonna do. I'm gonna skip this here. Toss tourney. We'll talk about it again tomorrow when the thing starts up. I'll start putting the scores up there. So if you want to get in there, get in there. Go to. I think we've got 30 or 40 people entered in this thing, maybe more. Get in there and get yourself registered up. Midmo Yo did it. If he can do it, anybody can do it, right? Yeah, I said it. All right, let's get back to bet scaling. I said this yesterday, and I want to repeat this because I think that my microphone didn't work, and I think that it's important that we get real about this topic here. And I think, you know, the subject of today's video, I called it, the big bankroll energy, because playing with a big bankroll is interesting. You have a lot more flexibility because you can go different places with a big bankroll. The problem is that not a lot of us have a big bankroll. And a lot of us would love to play, you know, Waylon's Mind at $25, you know, and, you know, you get to level 5, that's 125 times 4 out there, right? That's $500 on the table. That ain't fun to have that kind of money out there. we're not carrying that kind of paper around. And frankly, if you're playing that strategy, you know you're gonna have 500 bucks out there a number of times. You gotta have 10 times that to play it. You gotta have 5K to play the mind the correct way, even at the quarter level, let alone the black chip level. Most of us aren't doing that, right? Most of us are playing with 300 to 600 bucks. That's the average person's buy-in. So we've been getting called out as YouTubers, say, hey, you guys got to run lower strategies. You got to play it for the rest of us. And I'm here to tell you this. First of all, when you see a strategy run, remember this rule: divide by 10 when you can. 5,000 bucks is 500. If you just take a zero, whack a zero off, right? $300 bets are $30 bets. Whack a zero off. Most of the time, you can just knock it down a level. You can knock it down a couple of levels. You can go from $300 bets down to $10 bets, and just appropriately, do your math on the bets as you go. So yeah, can you play the mind at $100 chips? Sure you can. Can you play it with $5 chips? Yeah. Can you go to a bubble craft machine and play it with $1 chips? Yes. So if you're at a $500 bankroll at a bubble crafts machine, playing the mind with $1 chips as your base level, right? You can ladder that thing up as high as you want. You don't have to stop at 5 units. You can go to 6 or 7 units on those bets. Playing with tiny bets with an enormous bankroll is no different than playing with an enormous bankroll at a $25 table, right? Your bet size relative to your buy-in is what makes your bankroll big. And I want you to remember this. If you remember nothing else that I say today or evermore, it's that big bankroll is relative to your bet size, not relative to the actual dollars that you have. I've said this a million times. I play for a percentage win when I do, and I don't care what color the chips are. If I'm at Bubble Craps and I bought him for $100 and I win $10, that's hard to win 10%. If I win 20 bucks, I don't care that it's 20 bucks and I can't buy a hamburger with it. What I care about is I took 10 or 20% off the table. Bubble Craps, $10 table, $25 table, $100 table. It doesn't matter. The percentages matter. Don't worry about the color of the chips. Worry about how much percentage you turned your buy-in into. That's what's important about the whole thing, right? Count it by units, count it by percentages. That makes your bankroll more powerful, right? And you got to look at it that way. Now, your bankroll may not be powerful enough to play at the big boy table. And I don't mean that to sound rude, but if you've got 500 bucks, don't play the $25 table, because you limit the amount of bets you can make. Unless you're making one $25 bet, like a don't pass bet or a pass line bet per shooter. If that's all you're doing, then fine, because you've got 20 of those $25 units to play with. That's okay, right? If you're playing at a $25 table with $500 bankroll and you want to go 160 across, you're an idiot. You're going to lose. You have 4 chances at it, not even 4 chances, and you're going to be done. You're going to be out of money like that, right? That bankroll has to be played at the right size table. If you don't have an option, if all you've got is 500 bucks and all you've got is $25 tables, don't fucking play. Unless you're going to play something simple. $25 don't pass, 1 come bet. $25 don't pass, maybe just the 6, or maybe just the 6 and the 8. You cannot play at those levels with that tiny bankroll. You can go to stadium craps, where it's a $5 total action or $5 minimum. You can play roll to win. Move your bankroll where it has the power, right? You can be the big man on campus at a $1 minimum bet table with 500 bucks versus being, the kid that gets his ass kicked by the bullies at the big table, because that 500 bucks is going to take you nowhere on a $25 table. You got to be smart about that. People want to say, how do I win with 25 bucks on a $25 table? Well, you don't with 500 bucks. Unless you're going to grind the don't all day long, or grind the pass line with 1x odds. That's your game. You got to be smart with your money. You got to not let your ego get in the way of the play. That's a big thing. I know you want to play at the big table with that small bankroll. You cannot play at the big table unless you're playing a super low volatility 1 or 2 bet system. You got to be smart about that. Now, that said, I'm going to go back over here and we're going to scale Waylon's 2 into 4 system back. I did it yesterday. I'm going to do it again today. And I can show you a number of ways to scale these systems backwards into normal human-sized gameplay. Let's go back there and do that now. I'm going to go to the table. We're going to zoom in. First, we'll do a little zoom in view. I'll show you how the bets on this system work at that small level. And then we're going to go ahead and play it out at the correct size level. Here we go. Let's go to the table. We're going to simulate, again, a regular sized kind of buy-in at either a bubble craps or roll to win table. Okay, let's look at it again. Here is the system. Okay, the actual, and I'm going to put my white lammers back in the rack because the rack was set up to demonstrate this. So give me a second to get these all set back up again. And I've got them back here. You'll see in $60 increments. And we're going to count them out. I'm going to tell you how much money I've got here in just a second. There we go. There's my rack. Okay, now the Whalen 6, or I keep calling it 6 and 8. It's the 2 into 4, right? It starts out like this. It's a $300 8 and a $300 6. And you're all going, holy crap, Whalen, quit killing me with these big numbers, right? The beauty in this strategy, though, is this. He does these bets for up to 4 rolls, right? So you limit your time exposure, right? You're only out here for a little bit, right? 4 rolls max. Let's pretend we get a great result. Okay, let's say that this wins 30, wins 350. Okay, that's a beautiful thing. What you're going to do with that is get your bets off the damn table. First of all, bring these bets back to your rack. Get them home. Bring those bets home. You're out of the hand. Okay, now you've got 350 to play with. What he does, he racks 2 blacks and takes the 150, and he's going to play this out. We're going to go and get greens. We're going to get 50 on the 5 and 9, 25 on the 4 and 10. We're going to spread out and go away from the 6 and 8 and to other bets. That's beautiful, right? Rack 2 blacks and go. However, to do this, $300 on the 6 and 8, you had better have 10 times that. You need $6,000 at a minimum to come out here and try that thing, right? We're talking about big bankroll energy, but at a low bankroll table. What you got to do is scale that all the way back. Let's remove the zeros, right? Instead of 300, let's make it 30 on each number. $30 on the 6, $30 on the 8. Let's go back a whole level, right? A whole zero. Divide by 10 when you can. We get it back to $30. Now what happens is this. We're going to win. I'm going to pay it like this. 25, 30. I'm going to pay it in red and white chips. Well, actually, we'll get a set of whites. Now, again, you can do this on bubble craps. At this is the lowest level you can probably go with this thing. Okay. Remember, he was taking his bets down and taking 2 black chips. Well, our equivalent is $20. Not 2 blacks, but 2 sets of 10, and you're left with $15. Remember, Whalen played with 150. You take the 0 off, you have $15 to play with. 50 or 5 on the 5 and 9. We can't do 250, so we'll do $2 on the 4 and 10, and we'll take $1 back to the rack. Okay. At the bubble craps level is 30, 30, and you regress down to this, to $14. You're going to take your money back and $21 every time this works. $21 when you get the win, right? You're going to have $14 in action instead of 200 in wins and 150 in action. So again, scale your bets back, and guess what? At this level, you can buy in and play bubble craps or auto craps or stadium craps or roll to win, whatever your low budget option is. You can play this 10 times, and here's my numbers, right? I've got $60 slots, right? There's my $60 for 6 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Okay, 8 times 6, 8 times 60 is 48, $480. Okay, if I buy in for 480, I get 8 shots at it. Okay, 8 shots is pretty good. Okay, we can play this out at the bubble craps level, which is where you should play with this size bankroll. Bubble craps, auto craps, roll to win, $5 table if you have them. I've got 2 $5 tables right next to me here in Seattle. I can play this at the $5 level all day long, right? I am lucky to have that. In Vegas, there are a number of $5 tables you can get to. In Atlantic City, you don't have this option, right? In Atlantic City, you cannot play this strategy with $500 at the $15 or $25 table. You just can't do it. There's not enough money in your rack with $500 to get it done. You've got to switch out. So the way you play has to be relative to the size of your bankroll. I'm going to play this again today like I did yesterday at the bubble craps level. We're just going to simulate a quick bubble crap session here. just to give you a lens on how this looks. I'm gonna roll them out. I'll keep the table zoomed in here. We're not gonna do roll trackers today. I'm just gonna roll it out really quick and we'll see. The puck's gonna be off. Trust me on the rolls here when I bring them up. There's a 7, but we're off. We're off on the come out. There's a 5, a 4, 1, 5. There goes our puck. Now we have 4 rolls. We're gonna try and get one of these 2 in 4 rolls. Otherwise, we're turning them off. It's either a hit or a 7, and that's it. There's a 5-5 hard 10. And what you may do is have Lammers in here, right? And have them set up. There's your 4 shots, right? You have 3 shots left. Kind of use your rack. Maybe they're white chips to help guide you through it. There is a 5, 4, 9. That's our second fail. 2 more shots at it. Give me a 6 or an 8, please. There's a hard 10 or an easy 10, 6, 4. That's our third one. Last crack at it right here. Last crack at it. Can we get it? Can the bubble crafts machine do it? Yes, the bubble crafts machine gave us an 8. So on our 4th and final crack, we got it. Those are no longer needed. What we do here, again, I'm going to pay it out like this. There's 25, 30, $35. We're going to take our original bets back and put them back in our rack. Always keeping my rack looking pristine, right? I've always got my 8 shots back. On bubble crafts, can't really do that. You got to just know that 480 is your base point. 480 is your starting point. You got to remember that when you're looking at the bubble crafts computer thing, right? Now we're going to take back 20 bucks, $21 actually, to the profit side of our rack, right? Your board will read probably 501 at this point because you have the action out here. The action is going to be, I think it reports the action too, but there's $2 on the buy 4, $2 on the buy 10. We have the 5 and 9. You probably buy those on bubble crafts, right? But we're not going to do it here. We're just going to play it straight up. There we are. We're set up. Okay, you can do it on bubble crafts because you can get these bets down to $2. That's why I say bubble crafts is where you want to be, because you can get these bets down if you can do it. If you're going to be playing this at roll to win, where it's a $5 every bet minimum, this is going to have to be $5. And what that looks like in your rack is this. If they have to go to 5, you have to know this. Now you're at 20 bucks across. What you brought back to your rack on the win is not 21. Come on, it's 15. There's 15 bucks. You would play 20 out here and bring 15 bucks back instead of the 21. So either way, again, relative to your table size. And again, I'm playing a, kind of a cool big bankroll strategy at a low level, low level. We'll roll it out for a little bit longer, then I'll show you another one. We'll do the same thing again. There's a 1, 2, 3. It does nothing. We got a 9. That's great. That rolled on me. There's a 6, 3, 9. Sorry. And I'll pay $7. And again, on bubble crafts, you can like literally press by $2. You can drop $2 on that and take your nickel back, right? That's a cool thing. These little dinky presses, and you're still bringing back good money. There's a 2. Here's a 1 down by the rack. There's a hard 10, a 5, 5 hard 10. So 2. Again, I really can't do. I can't pay in pennies here. 2 pays like $3.80 or something. Let's drop $1 and make it look like a nickel coming back. We'll drop $1, get a nickel. Look at our profit. Look at our profit. We have 30 bucks in profit already, right? Off of a $600 buy-in, right? We're basically halfway home. Isn't this cool, right? But again, there's your 7. Your bankroll relative, or your bets relative to your bankroll, okay? Not bad, right? Not bad at all. But you got to remember, right? Ego gets in the way. Our egos get in the way. We want to play real craps and throw the dice. But again, at this buy-in level, this strategy ain't for you. Okay, you know what strategies are for you and what strategies are not for you. Let's do it again. Let's take the mind. Okay, you know I love the mind strategy. For this one though, we're gonna have to reset the bankroll a different way. Okay, let's do a $5 table version of the mind. And the way that that's going to work is with $40. We're going to do 10, 5, 5, 5, 5, right? We need I'm sorry, 20 bucks. So I'm going to divide my bankroll into $20 increments. We can actually do it in quarters. We'll just leave it as quarters. It's fine. Let's do it like that. Let's get all these reds out of here. Give me a second to reset, and we'll decide on a bet amount, okay? If I do the mind with nickels, okay, and we say, you know what, the most we're ever gonna get to, we're gonna start with 1, and if I say, I'm gonna personally cap this to level 5, okay, so level 5 means I'm gonna have $25 on 4 numbers, right? So it's $100 max that I would be risking for any one kind of level, right? So you could do a $5 version of the outside mind and have 5 cracks at it for $100, okay? The worst you're gonna have out there is $100, right? So you can do it 5 times. So I think $500 buy-in would probably work for this, okay? Let's get our rack set up. And this time I'll do it in $100 chunks. And again, on bubble craps, it's a different visual. So there's 300. Here's about to be 400. We'll do one more set of greens. That'll be $500, and we'll play it out. Again, small level, which you don't see very often, right? But here's the mind at $500 buy-in on a roll to win or bubble craps table. We're gonna drop $25. We're gonna get $5 on the outsides and $5 in change for that quarter, okay? We'll be off with the puck. Let's work it. Let's work the mind. 3, 2, 5 on the come out. And again, we go up when we don't win. We come back to base on a 7 out. Let's avoid that though. There's a 4 and a 4. Again, the mind at the tiny level, which you can totally do. 4, 4. There's an 8. We don't win. So we go up. We drop a quarter. We get a nickel and change. And all the bets go up by 1 unit. Welcome to Waylon's mind. It's a crazy place. Okay? There's an 8. Here is a 10. So we win. We never go down on the wins. We just take our wins and we love them. Like children, right? There's $18, okay? There's 15, $18 to the rack. Now, I can look at my rack and I probably would do this and say, well, we have $50 in action out here, right? There's 25 of it right back. So we can mentally feel like our rack is getting healthy. That's good. There's a 7 out. So we lose all the bets. We did get one mini win in there, which is fine. I'll take 20 from here. We'll put him back out. We'll be off with the puck. I go back to base on a 7, and we try it again. And again, it's a big bankroll feel because I got a ton of ammunition. I got a ton of ammunition at the $5 bet level. Can't do this strategy at quarters with $500. You can't. You cannot play this strategy at a $15 table when you're buying in for $500 or $600. You just don't have enough money to do it. But sure, go to roll to win and play this shit all day long. There we go. Point is going to be 6. Let's hopefully get some wins. There's an 8. So we don't win. Drop in a quarter. Increase them all by 1. And take 1 nickel. Oh, look at it right in the rack. 1 nickel is change. Let's make the mind pay here. Come on, Waylon, make me work. There's a 5. That's awesome. 3, 2, 5. Good. 10 pays $14. There's no pressing. We're just taking back our money. I'll put the whites over here for safekeeping. We'll put the reds over here. And again, we're going to work that rack back to health if we can. There's a 5. That's good. It's good payment right there, Waylon. 10, hard 10. All right, $18 down here. And again, I'll pay at 20. I'll pay at 20 for 2. There's 20. Here's 2 out of my rack. Boom. Looking good. Looking good over there. Stand at the level until we 7 out. There we go. 7 out, 617. Fine. Right? Run back to base. Do it again. Okay? Again, I'm not stressing. I still got $475 in my rack. We're doing fine. Right? We're losing. Right? But again, you're not stressing about your bankroll. When Waylon plays the mind with quarter chips with a $5,000 bankroll, that's what I'm doing right here. I'm playing the same thing. We're playing a $500 bankroll, and instead of quarters, it's nickels, right? Again, divide by 10 or so where you can. Make the bets make sense. But don't try this at a $15 table with this kind of bankroll, you're going to get destroyed. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We're still off, by the way. There's a point of 6. Let's get more than one hit. I want to get to level 5 and get a hit. I want to get a big ass hit at level 5. I'm tired of these short 7s. All right, 4, 1, 5. That's cool. All right, that'll pay $7. Let's get the profit. Let's get to a profit today. I'd like to get to a profit. There's an 8. Okay, it's going to go up. All right, there's an 8. You got to drop $20. Bump them all a unit, please, dealers. There's a 10 on the end. That's great. That is great. That's going to pay $18. We'll do 20 for 2. Let's keep hitting them. Oh, in the rack, up in the rail. Does that count? No, it doesn't count. There's an 8 again, another 5, 3, 8. So now we're in this situation where your bankroll becomes a tool. Up again, 1, 2, 3, 4. These wins, if we get them, we'll start actually counting for. Let's get those bought. A little more. Come on. Hey, another 8. 4, 4, another hard 8. So we get the dip in. 25. We haven't dipped in a while. We've been playing off those peanut wins. Here we go. Now we're level 4. We're 1 level away from being at our max bet. Let's get a couple wins here. Come on, level 4 wins, baby. Come on, let's do it. Ah, we didn't get it. Damn it, John. Frickin' 5-2. That sucks. I wanted to win there so bad. Now, you can do, again, I think bankroll strategy, bankroll mindset here, right? Small bets, big bankroll. The choice is going back out at that 4 units, which is what Wayland does, right? Or when you're playing with limited funds, you start back at the base and just rebuild it again from the base level. That's why I go down. That's just why I go down to base on the 7. There's a reason for why I do that in this strategy. It's because I don't typically carry the extra bankroll that I need to go back out here at level 4, which is the Wayland way of doing it, right? So you're going to go back out at what your bankroll affords you. And again, use your bankroll as the tool that it is. This is an enormous bankroll for the way that we're playing. It really is. Here we go. Let's get one more shooter in. Let's try and make some money here. There's our 10. What I love about this is when I can get it to work, right? There's a 4. It's going to pay $9. I'm going to get the whites and keep them over here. Okay. I like to get to level 5, but have a hit at each level on the way up. You like to see yourself move up the ladder and get those wins as you're progressing the bets. There's a $7 win. Let's do 10 for 3. There's a quarter. Oh, geez, there's a 5. There's a 4. That's a 9. That'll pay $7. The bank is getting low on reds over here. There's a 5, 3, 8. Okay, so now we get to level up. We've had 3 hits at that first level. Now we get to go up a level. We get to drop 20. Press them all unit, please. Let's get some hits in here. 5, 5, 10. Yeah, baby. Okay, 18. We'll do 20. 20 for 2. That's the point. We're off. 4. Next point's going to be a 4. It's a bummer. Here we go. Aces. Aces, aces, aces. Okay, so we got to drop 20 more bucks. We did not get a level 2 hit, which is, oh, we did. We got 1. There we are. Level 3 now. Let's get some wins, baby. Let's get some wins in here. Frick. 7. That would have been nice to have had another level 3 win and moved up. But let's look at our bankroll. We're going to lose here again. We've lost a couple of bets, and it's kind of sad that we didn't get the wins we wanted to. But if you look at where we actually are, we're not in that bad of a situation here. There's a nickel. So we start with $500. what we've got here is 375, almost 25 bucks, right? We got basically 400 bucks in our rack. We've lost 100 bucks. We've given it 3 really good cracks. We got our bets up to good level, right? Chance to win. And again, you're playing with an enormous bankroll relative to the size of our bets. And I think you've got to hunt down a strategy like this. You got to hunt down a small table and play it that way. Tomorrow, we'll keep doing this, big bankroll or small bankroll ways of playing. But if you want to play exciting styles of play, you've got to be on the small tables. You cannot play, you know, anything more, I would say, than 44 or 66 inside, at the most 64 across with this size bankroll. Anything, if you're not at a $10 table, you got to be careful. So let's look tomorrow at ways to use 500 bucks in non-waylainy kind of ways, in ways that are more traditional place betting, and also ways that are more traditional line betting. I want to look at some low volatility plays with small bankrolls that make sense. Okay. The first way I think that we saw today made a lot of sense. The 6 and 8 for one roll and spread out, that's money. But it only works if you can regress to $5, which, you know, at the big tables you can't. So that's the thing. Keep your bankroll in your mind, right? Make bets relative to the size of your bankroll. Bring enough to play and play at the right size tables. You got to play at the right size tables. If you don't have them, don't play. Serious. And I can't repeat that enough. There's that stupid glare. I can't repeat it enough. If you've got 500 bucks and your table size is $25 and you're not willing to play the don't pass only, right? Or the pass line only, if you're not willing to do just the 6 and 8 and then nothing else, then don't play. You got to walk. You cannot play this game at the enormous bet levels that the tables minimums require us to do with a $500 bankroll unless you're willing to make only 1 or 2 bets per shooter. You cannot do the crazy stuff. You've got to be here, right? You cannot be playing from here in your heart. You got to be playing from your head and make smart, non-ego driven decisions. And I think that's, you can't say that enough. I don't say it enough. I should say it more often is what I'm getting at. Okay. Let's go look at Qs and PCs. I'm sorry, Mike. Come on. Why is it not working? Let's go over here. PCs. Okay, let's see. Oh, wow. Look at all the PC quotes. Holy moly. That's right, Corey. You're 100% right. And I think Gator Craps called this out too. It doesn't do that unless you're going to be for one roll. Now, we haven't talked about that. The way that Greg plays the Velveteen Rabbit is a one roll thing, right? He only gives it one roll, which is if it's a horn number, he turns his bets off and goes back. Calls it a loss. I've played this quite a bit where I play the horn too. So I'll do my cross bets and I'll drop a horn bet out there. So I'm guaranteed one roll. It's either going to be winning my 75 bucks back. And if I play the horn is there to win just the 75 bucks to replace the lost lay, or that's it. So you're right about that. It's a good call out. I'm going to put up on screen again. It's a great call out. Unless you play the horn along with it. I like to kind of play the horn along with it. So I have not decided. You guys should vote on that yourselves. What do y'all want to be called? You know, you have the choice. I forget even what we had. Maybe we'll put a poll up. What you guys want to be called? It's up to you. Let's see. Nemo, you're talking about the hard hat list, right? Again, the hard hat, and you're the kind of guy that belongs on the list because what people don't know, probably, and I said this about a lot of people, they don't know how hard you're working behind the scenes, right? The hard hat is for people that are putting in the dirty work that's not on camera, right? It's Chris filming 50 videos before he went to work for 9 months. Like that's hard hat kind of work. That's what it's about. That's what Skill's on there. Skill's on the list, not because of his channel. He puts out almost no videos, but Skill is behind the scenes working with everybody, doing lots of work behind the scenes to make things better for everybody. So that's why he's there, right? It's the things you don't notice, right? It's like I liken it to my favorite show. I love Dirty Jobs, right? It's the guys cleaning the septic tanks, right? That's the hard hat award. That's what it's for. So I think that's the thing. Let's see. Skill says about understanding strategy for sure, right? Strategies call for regression. And again, here's another point. When you're at $500 bankroll and you have to, and you're looking to regress your bets, which is fine. If it's a $15 table, a proper regression is going to be at least, if you're at $15, you got to be at least at $25 bets, probably double bets, $30 bets to regress back down, right? If you're doing that, you're looking at 110 inside or more inside. You're looking at 110 or 154 inside out of a $500 bankroll, so you can regress down to 44. That's insanity, right? Even the skill 66, right? $66, you need 660, not 500 to play that strategy if that's going to be your go-to. You got to be willing to admit when you can't play the way you want to play because you're limited by your bankroll, and that's okay. Your bankroll may limit you, but let your brain open you up to other things. I wrestle with this sometimes. I've gone to the casino here, when I bought the table, and I paid for college. I bought the table. My 401g account was down like $2K. I'm like, well, shit, I can't do what I want to do. I can't go out there and buy in for $1,000. I got to go buy in for $350 or $500. Now I'm limited to what I can actually do, and I had to play differently for a while to get it to work. So there's that. Darksider wants to know, the DP strategy that I ran in WinCraft that showed a positive profit against my rolls. I will do that as a paycheck strat, absolutely. And it's simple. It's a simple don't pass ladder. We did $25 as the base don't pass bet, up $5 on a loss, down $5 on a win. Simple ladder system. Where I enhanced that is I would do things like, that's the normal strategy. If I got a come out winner, what I would always do is double my base. So let's say, for example, you're at $25 and you had 3 losses. You're 25, 35, 40, 25, 30, 35, $40. Okay. Let's say we got a come out craps number. Okay. That wins $80. What I do is my next don't pass bet is 50. So I double that bet for just one time. So out of my rack, the risk is $25. I used a little bit less than half my profits to double that bet for a one shot. Can I double that thing up? That's what we did. And that thing, even without that double up, does really good. It's really, really strong. There's going to be times where the other day I had 9 don't pass losses in a row where it got crushed. We did it in the garage and it got crushed. But that thing is the one strategy that I've run in WinCrafts with my 5,000 rolls that's actually won money at the end. Everything else loses. That thing won money. So yeah, super simple, 20% ladder, not the full ladder, $25 to $5, right? So 25 to 30. You can run it at a $5 table. $5 turns into $6. $6 turns into $7. Your $5 bets become $1 ladders, right? $25 bets become $5 ladders. $100 bets become $25 ladders, right? Again, relative to your bankroll size, a great strategy. It's a James Newberry thing. It's really, really, really good, for sure. And he wants me to do a WinCraft strategy where I go down on losses and wins versus not going down on wins. For sure. I think when I do that one, we'll do a comparison. I think that's a good idea to compare what's it like to ladder up but never down, ladder down but never up, or do the full ladder and see kind of like the differences between those strategies. That's kind of cool. I like the idea of that for sure. And yeah, so I did that. Let's see. Dice Doctor wants to call me Johnny's Junkies. It's got to be PCs, PSOs, or POCs. There's a lot of ideas there. I think we talked something like I was thinking something like with the Grim Reaper or something like that because I'm such a 7 thrower and I like the dark side stuff. We'll think of something. It's fun. What else do we have on questions? Anything else in the questions bucket? It looks like no. I think that's it. Anything else you want to talk about before I go to work? It's 9:03. Do I have a meeting? Let me just check make sure I'm not late for something. No, I have 10 o'clock. Cool. All right. Well, that's it, guys. That's all I got to talk about. Long lecture today. I know I wanted to do the probability thing ahead of time because I know I misspoke about it yesterday. I wanted to make that clear what the 3% came from. And again, thanks Corey for calling out that I forgot to talk about the horns skewing the number a little bit, right? And again, it's going to be going way back. If you're out there for a resolution versus out there for a roll, that's the difference in that. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Happy Tuesday. I will not probably practice tonight. I don't know. We'll see. It's so damn cold. Last night I tried to get out there and it was in the 20s. It's not worth it. So if I do, I will. If not, I'll see you in the morning for the next paycheck. So with that said, I'll happy Tuesday. Thanks all for being here. You guys, again, rock. Every one of you guys rocks. Love you. God bless you all. See you in the morning. And thanks again for being with me. Bye.